In this video, I'm looking at the simple interest formula. Now, I like to use the form of I equals PRT. Some people will use I equals PIN. The reason I like PRT is because it is different to the compound interest formula. So the compound interest formula has our A is equal to P outside of 1 plus I to the power of N. And I just find that's too similar to the I equals PIN one. That can confuse students, which is why I like to use PRT for simple interest and keep the PIN when I use my compound interest formula. So I've got my I equals PRT, where I is my interest earned or paid, P is my principal, so the amount I start with, R is my rate, so that's my percentage as a decimal, and T is my time. And my time is always in the same increment that my rate is. So if I've given a percentage, an interest rate per month, then my time would be the number of months. But if I've got my rate as a percentage per year or per annum, then my time will be in years as well. And then my A is the amount at the end. So that's where I'll add my interest with what I started with. So I've got 4 different examples going through the different types that you can see. So the first type is to find the interest earned. So this is our basic type of simple interest and the amount at the end. So I always like to start each of my questions the same way and write I equals P equals R equals T equals. So my interest, I don't know the interest amount. That's what I'm finding out. So I put a question mark. My initial amount, my principal, is the $4,000. That's my P. I've got 5% per annum, so I'm going to change that straight away to 0.05 because that's what 5% is as a decimal. And then T is 3. So I've got per annum, which means per year, and 3 years. So I'm keeping that they've got the same increments there. So now I'm going to do my I equals PRT. I'm going to put in what I know, my 4,000 times 0.05 times 3. Then I'm going to grab my calculator and I'm going to do 4,000 times 0.05 times 3. And that gives me $600. So I've earned $600 interest. So at the end, I've got the 4,000 that I started with plus the 600, and that equals $4,600. Now I will show you can do, if you have the TI-30XB, you can do the percentages on here, and most scientific calculators will be able to do that. So you could miss the step of having to convert the percentage and actually put that in as 4,000 times 5 and do second bracket and see how it brings up a percentage on the screen, and then times that by 3. And we'll get that 600 that we did there. So if you are familiar, if this is the type of calculator you have and you are familiar with using the percentage button, you can actually skip this step of changing your decimal there and just do it straight into your calculator. The next type that we've got here is finding the time. So find how long it takes to earn $100 interest on $600 at 5.5% per annum. So starting again, writing my I, P, R, and T. My I know it's $100. My P is 600. My R is 5.5%, which I can change to 0.055. And my T is the one that I don't know. So I'll write my I equals PRT. I will put in my 100 on that side, $600 times 0.055. And then I've got that times by T. So I can go ahead and work out this part of it, the $600 times 0.005, and I get 33. So 33T is equal to 100. So then I'm going to grab my 100 and divide that by 33, and I get 3.03 years. Now you may, because you're wanting to earn the $100 interest, you obviously have to do more than 3 years. If you wanted to take that to the step and go, okay, well, how long is that in months, days, etc., you could. It would depend on what you were assuming was the scenario. Were you allowed to take it partway through the year, or do you have to go to the full 4 years before you've earned the $100 interest? Obviously, there's a little bit of interpretation there, and you'll qualify your answer with what you write. So I would probably say to earn $100, you would have to go to 4 years, because after 3 years you wouldn't have earned the $100 yet, and you would have earned more than 100 by the end of the fall. Here we've got find out how much you earn, find out how much you need to invest to earn $50 interest after 4 years at 3% per annum. So this is the one where we're finding the P. So we've got our I, P, R, T. So we're always writing them at the start. I, we've got 50. P, we don't know. That's what we're working out. Our R is 3%, which becomes 0.03. And our T is 4. So I come over and I write my I equals PRT. And then we've got our 50 for our I. P we don't know. Our R is 0.03 and our T is 4. So my first step is to do the 0.03 times 4 and I get 0.012. So 0.12 times P is going to equal the 50. So to get what the P is on its own, I'll do 50 divided by that number and I get my P is equal to 416.66 and I'll round that to $0.67. So I need to invest $416.67 to earn the $50 interest after 4 years. The last type is the finding out the interest rate. So we've got our P, R, T, I. So our I is 150 because we're earning $150 interest. Our P is 2,000. Our R is the one we don't know this time, and our T is 5. So we'll write I is equal to PRT. 150 is equal to 2,000 times our R times by 5. 2,000 times 5 is going to be 10,000. So then to get the R, we'll do 150 over 10,000. So I'll grab my calculator and do 150 divided by 10,000 and I get 0.015. Now you might be saying, oh, that's a little bit of a weird number. Do I just stick a percent on the end of that? No, you don't, because to get our R, we always divide it by 100 and to whatever percentage we had. So we need to multiply to get the percent. So we need to multiply by 100 and we get 1.5% as our answer.